Hello, I'm John Eagles. I used to work as a consultant psychiatrist and an honorary professor of mental health in Aberdeen. I had a special interest in eating problems. Since retirement, I have been involved in the development of the Temple V program. This webinar is about the relationship between weight and eating on the one hand, and our mood and psychological well-being on the other. This relationship goes in both directions. People who are overweight are more likely to be depressed than people who are not overweight. And if you are depressed, then you are more likely to become overweight. I shall go through the factors that feed into this relationship. One of the obvious links lies in our self-esteem. Being overweight lowers self-esteem, and low self-esteem makes it harder to lose weight. Low self-esteem contributes to depression, and depression, of course, lowers self-esteem. Again, on the psychological front, life stresses and relationship problems, whether these are in the present or occurred in the past, can contribute both to lowering mood and to difficulties in controlling eating and weight. Being overweight or being depressed can worsen our life and relationship problems. Moving on to more physical issues. Inactivity is an important link between mood and obesity. Again, there is something of a circular relationship here. If you are inactive, you are more likely to be overweight. And when you become obese, this is a big disincentive to exercise because it becomes difficult. It becomes difficult both physically and psychologically. Depressed people are less active, and inactive people are more prone to depression. And what about our diet? What about the stuff that we actually eat? Overweight people tend to eat more high glycemic index carbohydrates. That is sweet, high-fat foods. And these foods, which we often refer to as junk foods, do cause a transient improvement in mood because they stimulate pleasure centers in the brain. This is short-lived, unfortunately, and tends to be followed by a lower mood. So people can get into a cycle of eating these foods to excess, sometimes in binges, just to briefly improve their mood. So, these are some of the links between depression and obesity. Basically, that's the bad news. But recognizing the problems and how they are linked is the first step, and there is much that can be done. If we attend to the psychological factors, the physical factors, and the nutritional factors, we can reverse these vicious circles and use the relationship between them to our advantage. As I said earlier, psychological issues are important in influencing both our eating and our mood. The great thing is that these relationships can be reversed. I guess it's fairly obvious that our mood can be improved by addressing our psychological problems, but there is now a lot of evidence that worries and emotions contribute to overeating. And when these are addressed, eating improves and weight management improves. As you will be aware, there are ways of accessing psychological expertise, if you need it, through the Temple V team. Inactivity can also be addressed. It probably goes without saying that exercise is important, especially once normal weight has been reached, in helping you to stay at that lower weight. Exercise also acts as an antidepressant. So it's a double whammy, improving weight control and raising mood through exercise. What we eat can be very important in determining both our weight and our mood. People who eat a Mediterranean diet consume, on average, more calories than people in the UK who eat the usual British diet. But the Mediterranean diet eaters are less likely to be overweight. Also, people who eat a Mediterranean diet are significantly less likely to be depressed. In simple terms, This slide shows what comprises a Mediterranean diet. It is simple because I'm a psychiatrist and not a nutritionist. I know that a lot of Temple V people seeing this will still be in the weight loss stage of the program, but once you get into the later stages of the Temple V program, what you decide to eat will have a big impact on both your weight and on your mood. So, while I have outlined the bad news with regard to the links between low mood and higher weight, there are ways of reversing these links and using them to support your weight management. The Temple V program incorporates strategies that will help to address psychological challenges, help with nutritional education, and help to promote enjoyable exercise. And thus, this utilises the relationships illustrated in these slides to your advantage. The Temple V program has been formulated to target all of these issues and to ensure that you are able to successfully lose and maintain a healthy weight in the long term.